for the final time today. Big round of applause for nobody else than Nikul Shaw.
Before you say a word, your energy is already felt. And that's leadership. And what's inside this bag is what affects leadership the most. But before I share with you what's inside, I want you to picture the scene. It's a Friday evening, 6:30 p.m. You finished a whole day, a whole week of work full of stress that didn't let you even breathe. You're in your car about to get out, hands on the steering wheel. You take one deep breath in and release. You leave the car, you get to your front door, you put your key inside, and that's when you remind yourself it's time to change roles from executive to parent, from leader to partner, from negotiating contracts to negotiating bedtime. Just before you turn the key, you check your phone just in case there's that urgent email. Newsflash, it's never that urgent. You open the door, you kick off your shoes, and then after a whole week of holding it together for everybody else, you see the sofa, and all you want to do is soften the jaw, roll back the shoulders, take a few deep breaths in. But the mind keeps on thinking what could have said differently in that meeting. But the kids still want to play. The partner still wants to talk. But sitting here, physically available, but mentally, emotionally absent. Now, when you show up like that, somebody else has to absorb it. Absorb the tiredness, the irritation, the fatigue, the friction. Now, one of these alone isn't going to ruin a family. Where it becomes dangerous is when they become the norm. And for me, this isn't theory. It wasn't too long ago, before 2025, I was living what I felt was my best life. I could go on trips and holidays when I wanted to. I had complete control of my calendar, and I had nobody to answer to. So when 2025 came about, I don't think I was ready. You see, 2025 was sort of a big year for me. I got engaged to the love of my life. We moved in together. We got married. And one other thing, we had a baby. So in 3 months, my life had expanded. Now fast forward 2 months. So September 2025, our baby girl Nala, she's 2 months old. And on the outside, I'm holding it together. So it looks good. But on the inside, I was starting to feel it. My responsibility had increased. The pressure had increased. But I had stayed the same. And I started to leak at small things at first. Being asked by my wife to get this and get that. I tried hiding and barricading myself in the office, but that didn't work. And I remember one particular morning, it was after a terrible night's sleep. I'm sitting there at the dining room table, tied behind the eyes, and I'm about to have the first spoon of overnight oats, drizzled in dark chocolate, when all of a sudden I hear, "Nikul!" What? That was the final straw. The days that followed that, my wife mirrored back my own volatility. And it was hard to see, hard to admit to myself at first, but I hadn't grown to be the man I needed to be for my wife and my daughter. And so my wife had to absorb that spillover. That's why this isn't just my story. Hands up here. Who's noticed other people affected by simply how you show up? Anybody? Yes. That's because leadership is transmitted through the body first. It's how you stand. It's how you move through the room. It's how you hold a pause. Once through your body, your energy is then experienced, and then your words are felt, and it's always in that order. So coming back to my story, the following few weeks from that incident, nothing had changed too much on the outside. But what started to shift slowly was on the inside. Before, what I was carrying was heavy, like that. But slowly, it started to feel lighter. And I realized it wasn't the words, it wasn't what the words meant. It was to do with the state that I carried internally. How you show up doesn't affect just yourself. Your body, your energy, your words, they affect other people's worlds too. They shape the room, the conversations, the steadiness of your leadership. What I want you to ask yourself is, who is paying the price right now? And how do they benefit if you became steadier? So tonight, when you go home, you see the sofa, remember, the sofa doesn't absorb what you carry. Your family does. Thank you. All right.